Tinfoil hat. Oh, what the you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
All right, welcome to Tinfoil Hat, live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. Just go to samtripoli.gold, use the promo code TINFOIL, and you too can get in the Precious Metals game for as little as $50 a month. And we'll get into a little bit more of that because I think it's important that people understand the how important gold and silver is. But let's get into it. I'm very excited to have our next guest on. She's a member of the Union of the Unwanted. She's got books. She's got movies. I'll always think about her all the time because she's got a movie, and we're going to get into it about George Floyd. Please welcome Maryam Henein. How are you?
Hi, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. I'm very grateful.
Maryam, we always love having you on. It's always a great conversation. You're very passionate, and you're one of those people that, like, when I hear people I know in Hollywood talk about how there's no cancel culture and it doesn't exist. And I know we on this show have gone through it, and I know you've gone through it a lot. It just makes me laugh, because I think when they say, like, when they think about cancel culture, they think you're supposed to go in the corner and cry for the rest of your life and never interact in society. And they don't realize that they just shut down your abilities to make money. And I know you've gone through a lot of that. But for those, I know you've been on the show a couple times. For those who may not be familiar with your last couple appearances, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
Yes, sir. So I hail from Montreal, Canada originally. I was living in California for 23 years. I go by the Bee Lady because I'm best known for directing the award-winning film Vanishing of the Bees that was narrated by Ellen Page before she became the poster child for transgenderism, and now is Elliot.
And he looks happy.
Yeah. And no comment. And, so I was identifying, let's say, with being a Democrat or a liberal, for instance. Then in 2019, I personally popularized the term techno-fascism, and having an online health and wellness site, honeycolony.com, I was privy to feeling the wrath of the medic update. And then I went looking, I was writing an article, and I found out Google is a drug company. And then I found Zach Voorhees, the Google whistleblower. And at that time, I've been covering vaccines since 2012. So I was saying medical martial law, and he was making fun of me. And I would have left to Costa Rica before, but he was still going through a very, very short of 2 days of fear before we realized this was a psychological operation. And we left for Costa Rica 6 days before the entire country locked down. And so it was getting locked down over there and delayed response. So we were both, smoking a lot of weed and covering the news nonstop, doing interviews, trying to figure out what was going on. And I was on the front lines. I was one of the few to cover Charles Lieber, the nanotech king, and I even bought his court exhibits. And in February 2020, I made the link between, I was calling it 5G for the sensors, 5G, graphene oxide, and Charles Lieber. And in 10 minutes, I was taken off of Twitter.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was very obvious because of the links that I made. And I spent 3.5 years trying to get my Twitter account back, because I'm a researcher that I was archiving. And so I had 60,000. And when I came back, now they throttle me. They will not allow me to go over 28,000. I've lost my YouTube channel. We had discussed it on Union of the Unwanted that Ricky Varandas got his back, but they permanently deleted it. And I have a degree in journalism and had a #1 movie in this country. So during that time, while I was with Zach, before I bought a one-way ticket to Florida, the day I became, like, I called to do to do yoga. And I said, can I bring a medical note? And she said, I'm so sorry. We have to follow the rules. And I said, you know that you're helping usher in communism. Namaste. And I hung up. And that day I bought a one-way ticket to Miami, and I haven't been back to California. So
There is a lot to unpack here. A lot to unpack. First of all, you know, you are one of many people who fled the country to other places. We've had guests on, and we love all them who have gone to Mexico. Well, Mexico now is
right,
mandating biometrics.
right,
You have to go get your biometrics done.
yeah,
And you know, that's a country that doesn't f- around either. Like, you know, there's lawless in their laws. You know what I'm saying? Like the government and the cartel are almost woven in together. And if you don't
absolutely.
play ball, it could get bad fast. You know, so now
Yes.
they're all in Mexico. They're gonna have to get these biomet. They'll probably move again to somewhere else, and it just seems like you can't get away from this stuff. But you brought up this really great point, and we've talked about it a lot on this show, but it's about how, you know, everybody hates fascism except for when it goes against people they don't like. And then they fully love fascism. They'll deep throat it. I just had a conversation with a buddy of mine who I love very much, and he was just talking about the, you know, the right and all this stuff. And, you know, because he's one of those people that have completely and utterly bought this narrative that, you know, these podcasts ruin America by having Trump on, right? And and I go, well, what about when these people had Obama on after he assassinated Muammar Gaddafi and ushered in open air slave trades, tried to fake a chemical attack in Syria, and we can just keep going, keep going, keep going on all the things Obama did. There's female comedians in LA who are all part of the Me Too movement that were on Hillary Clinton's Apple TV show, and now they're like crying about Trump being on podcasts. And it's just hilarious because they hate fascism when it comes against them or goes against their morals. It's very interesting to me, the mental gymnastics of all that.
But look, what's underneath that is a hypocrisy. What's underneath that is a blind spot. What's underneath that is an inability to see beyond the veil. And hey, it's an onion, right? So I was watching Trump every single day because he was part of the COVID-19 task force. I was always saying this is political theater, but he was representing we the people. So people do not make it a practice to look at their own blind spots. And, you know, here we are, 2025. And I was saying to myself, when I'm done writing my book, which is a colossal book full of images.
That would take me
And
years.
it took me 5 years. However, and I didn't know what I was going to find, but I was saying, I'm going to have my own great reset. And I can get into that, but I did. But after writing this, you know, Zach would say, you're still doing George Floyd, Mimi. Mimi is my nickname. And I have to say, in my head, I was like, silly boy. Investigations take a long time. Real investigations, not you know, fast food bullshit investigations. Also, I realized that this is for the records. This is for the future. We have witnessed the ministry of truth. And so I ended up having a Kundalini awakening. And I remembered, like in Westworld, like, oh shit, I've been killed before for guarding libraries, for speaking the truth. And this ain't my first rodeo. And I personally have come to the conclusion that we have a little escape hatch for those who realize that we're on the wheel of samsara and that reincarnation is a trap. I mean, I say that it was on the Union of the Unwanted that I brought it up in 2020. Like, what is the light at the end of the tunnel? Not knowing that David Icke, that there's been stuff written about the the wheel of samsara and how to exit the trap. So my conclusions are that now these next 4 years are a BS golden age. I like to cite the Hope experiment, and I say that they drowned the rats and then they put them on land, and that they did not go 1 more hour or 2 or 5 or 10. They went 60 to 80 more hours. It's hopium, and that is akin to the next 4 years. And in the meanwhile, they are putting the last final touches of the track and trace. So if you believe that, some people, I tend to lean that we are in a simulation, we're going to be a simulation in a simulation, and there will be no exit. And some of us, I being one of them, when I had my near-death experience, I was told you have an opportunity to learn your lessons. And, a Kundalini awakening is not sex. It's not, men, people will because it is an orgasm that goes. So I was at my desk, fully clothed, not thinking anything sexual. I was tapping into a man that I had not met, that I thought was missing. And I had a spontaneous orgasm at my desk. And I was like, that night, I'm like, okay, universe, this guy better show up, because I need to know if I'm wackadoodle or super psychic. And whoever it is that I'm feeling, that's who I want to be with. And he emerged. I met him on a parking lot. I did a crazy thing that I co-signed for a car for an absolute stranger. And that's a whole other thing. But I will say,
No, but how'd that work out?
Yeah, thank you.
it did not work out.
Okay. Guys, listen to me. The crypto market is on fire. I've had some of my cryptos going nuts right now. I wake up, it's like crypto Christmas. Holy cow, what just happened? Miracles, dude. And listen, yeah, Bitcoin's a gazillion dollars, okay? But there's other coins that you can get into early. And that's why I want to tell you about our good friends at Copy My Crypto, okay? James McMahon and Copy My Crypto. Let me tell you about Copy My Crypto. Guys, does it piss you off to watch crypto fly up in price for over a decade and you've still done nothing about it? It makes sense. Crypto is complicated and really boring. Well, here's the good news. You don't need to know a thing about crypto to make money like so many have. The copymycrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just copy him. It's like having a big brother that knows exactly what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing you don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You just simply copy along. So let me tell you about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which has so many more subscribers, and this says 54,000. It's way past that. Okay, he's got a ton of subscribers. In the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put $100 in each one, it went on to be worth over 123,000. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick of the year, the one he singled out, Phantom, went up 692 times. That happens, man. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify yourself. So if you'd like to join the over 2,800 members who copy James, then pause what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/tinfoil. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. Okay. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but our viewers get full access for just $1. Yes, you missed out on crypto. Buy a little bit here and there, buy a little bit here and there. But there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you miss out on all of them? Nope. Guys, don't waste time. Go to the site and read it. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. It's ended money worries for so many. It just may do the same for you. So let's get in. Now I want to get into the George Floyd stuff.
Yes. Now that
you have a lot of George Floyd updates for us.
So the film, The Real Timeline, which I sent you, I bought all the footage with my own money from the United States government. And I was very lucky after trials and tribulations to find Sean Hibbler. So the film, The Real Timeline, looks at 7:30 to 9:30 when he was pronounced dead. And there's footage in there that no one has seen. Now, I would just like to say, how did I get into this? I was in the jungle, and it was May 25th, and Zach Voorhees is like, Mimi, can you come choke me? And I was like, what? And he's like, I'm doing the George Floyd challenge. And so then I said, well, if you really want to know how he died, you need to call the medical examiner. And I have been to the coroner's office in LA. So I was literally the first journalist to call the medical examiner in Hennepin County. And they told me it's going to take weeks and weeks and weeks. Then the next day on CNN, there were preliminary reports. So I was like, I was still naive, even though I knew 9/11. I didn't know how dark and deep this is. So that's what got me started. And then in August, that's when they dropped the body-worn footage. And I was still in Costa Rica. And when I saw George Floyd, I was like, what the who does this? Which grown man does this? We're all taught to put our hands on the wheel. So what is this theatrics? So then I went to look for, it was the Daily Mail. Only later, when I learned about Tavistock, did I ask myself, is the Daily Mail, this again, you use your hunches and intuition, is the Daily Mail part of Tavistock? Then I found out that Lloyd George was one of the founders of the Lie Factory. So back to August, I looked to see who the reporter was. I used to sell him vapid Hollywood information. I used to sell gossip to People Magazine, In Touch Magazine, when I was in the Matrix, when I first came from Montreal, Canada, and was trying to rise up in my career. So I reached out to the reporter, and then I told him, this was August, so I just said, these are the inconsistencies. I talked to him about the bricks, whatever. And he said, what is it with you? What is it with you conservatives and George Soros? He's a businessman. Who cares what he does? And I didn't tell him I was a conservative. So I was like, that's interesting. Anyway, so then the Derek Chauvin trial, I covered every single day for Activist Post. And that's when it occurred to me I should write a book. I did not know it would take 5 years. So the film looks at the actual incident, and this book looks at, I'll just read you some of the chapters to give a sense. And it was effed with by 3 different publishers. So in the end, I published it myself. George Floyd, hot off the press. I Can't Breathe is Born Again, A Tale of Two Autopsies. El Nuevo Rodeo and Maya Lopez Santamaria. Darnella Frazier, From Snacks to Star. Ozarks on COVID-19. Operation Counterfeit. The Politics Behind Prosecution. Keith Ellison Revisited. A Hush Money and the Floyd Family Legacy. George Perry Floyd. This is a Drill. 6 Ways to Detect a False Flag Event. Blood Debts and Human Sacrifice. So the book is called Multi-Layered. On one layer, we went from virus to violence overnight. We ushered in a color revolution. We used George Floyd to get more vaccines into the arms of the #1 vaccine hesitant population. This was also a duty to intervene exercise. So when the federal officers were put on trial, we'll cover that, that the police manual was on the stand. And I found a training day, just like one of the characteristics is a training day. That training day was scheduled for May 29th. That's the day that they arrested Derek in record speed. And on that training day were 2 lieutenants that ended up testifying against Derek. Now that training was canceled in April. And when I went to see who organized, it's the Dakota Technical College. What is Dakota Technical College? That's where Derek graduated, not as a cop, but as a cook. Okay? He graduated as a cook in the culinary arts. So when I called Technical College, of course, nobody called me back. I went to see who is funding them. And it was the usual suspects, Eco Alliance, Planned Parenthood. They never called me back. It was a bizarre training that was having to do with police driving training. Like, I don't know. It was canceled. I never got. I also found in the book, I found hush money. I found a $5 million order issued to a baby mama and her son that was kept out of the narrative 24 days before George died.
And whose baby's mama is it?
George. It's George. You know, they focused on, if you see the film, I have a shot with Benjamin Crumb.
So you're saying they sent the baby's mama before this event happened or before the arrest?
Before he died, 24 days before George died, I found a judgment order for a real deadbeat dad case, you could say, from 2007. When that case first started, George was in Lynchner prison. So here we are, 2020, all of a sudden, there's a $5 million order. Now, hold
on real quick. You're throwing out a lot of magic here.
Sorry.
So you're saying months before the George Floyd incident happened, he was in jail?
No. He was in jail in 2007. He's been in jail his whole life. In the book, I have bought all his mugshots and I talk about each case that he was. No, he was in jail in 2007 when he had this baby. Okay. And in the Pacer, all of a sudden, in the Minnesota court papers, in 2020, there's a judgment order for $5 million. Now, I obtained that through a private eye. So I'll back up. I purchased George Floyd's debt from Cup Foods. I sent one of the 4 Palestinian brothers of Cup Foods, the convenience store where this all unfolded, $20. So the Floyd family owes me $20. That allowed me, in my mind, to do a Freedom of Information Act for his Social Security number, George Floyd's, to confirm whether he was a real person, because they threw a red herring in August, and a man, Timothy Jaffet. Anyways, so then I found the PI after a year that had the balls to run and he's like, what do you hope to find? And I said, I look for patterns and I just want to seed his financials. So what he got me was 200 plus internal emails between the government and the MPD, which that in itself is dangerous. And then he found this judgment order. And I wasn't able to confirm. I followed it. I called the Floyd family. They sent me to child services. Child services sent me to, it was just the merry-go-round.
So you called George Floyd's family?
Oh, yeah. I tried. I'm the only one. I spoke to the boy, Chris Martin, who took the 20. I've interviewed him. I speak to Maurice Lester Hall, calls me from jail. And I'm the only one who's speaking to the dude who stabbed Derek. You would think, Tucker would want to get me on the show because they know about me. Liz Collins is playing the role of me as the alternative journalist, but she's married to Lieutenant Kroll, who was the lieutenant who resigned, because it's always like left, right dynamics. I reached out to Liz Collins because I'm exhaustive in my research and I look under every rock. She never responded to me. They saw my movie. And then a year later, The Fall of Minneapolis came out. I know that they saw my movie because Freeman, the reporter who showed them my movie, interviewed me and told me. And you'll see in the trailer, there's a shot of the Asian officer doing this, like on a set in Hollywood, and action, right? So the reporter showed my movie and that shot, and they poo-pooed it as conspiratorial. So in their movie, The Fall of Minneapolis, they insert that shot completely out of sequence as a little fuck you to me. And then, Liz Collins went on American Thought Leaders of the Epoch Times. He knows who I am. Jan knows who I am. I wrote a story in 2019 that went viral and they never hired me again. So I started seeing, when you start to know who's who in the zoo, you become even more dangerous. So my film could have, I'm an award-winning filmmaker. My George Floyd film could have gotten a lot of traction and it got picked up by a conservative distributor. and they ended up just sitting on it. I would see that during the anniversaries, like, why aren't you promoting my movie? And so my quarterly check was a whopping $24. Don't spend it all in one place. So I don't know if you want to watch the trailer. What else can I tell you? I can tell you.
So based on your last appearance, you told us some incredible stuff. Like George Floyd had been arrested maybe 3 times before, and during those arrests, he ate drugs during that as well.
That's in the movie. Yeah, I show the arrest from the year prior. It's in the film. The film's only an hour and 8 minutes. Alas, you can only get it from MaryamHenein.com. It's only $24.44, so people can get it there. And also, Sam and gentlemen, that George Floyd is a creation of 3 different people.
Hold on. So now you're saying George Floyd didn't exist?
No, he existed. But the story of him with, there's a picture of him with a Yates 88. That man is called Floyd George. They sewed shit into the narrative to make him, this amazing human being. I mean, they just named the university, I believe, in Texas after George Floyd. This is how they wipe our history and rewrite it. In real time, we're watching it. I mean, George Floyd was a career criminal. And if anybody gave a shit about Black people, why is Maurice Lester Hall? They trudged up a 2018 pimping case and they gave him 15 years. They gave him 15 years. The day after I did an exclusive interview with him.
And who is he? He's the guy that...
Maurice Lester Hall is the Black man that was with George that day, along with Shawanda. You can see it. Can we see the trailer?
Did you? Oh, you're muted.
You're
muted,
Mark never sent that.
Mark's sending it right now.
I think I have it here. I think this is it right here. You can tell me if this is correct. Is this what you want to show?
Real timeline trailer?
Yes.
It's hosted by Mubi. It's a trailer.
Yes, sir. We can watch that. I have a longer one that I sent as well, a 10-minute one.
Okay.
No, let's just watch the show.
Mark has that, and we just don't have that,
But that's fine.
Okay, go. Yep. Hit play.
Freedom of speech, folks. Don't touch him. I got this all on camera. Watch out. Don't touch me.
Third precinct is up in flames.
We begin with breaking news in South Minneapolis.
Caught on tape, a Black man pinned to the ground, later dying after a white officer kneeled on his neck.
It started with a report of a forgery in progress and ended with Floyd's death.
The situation has become volatile. The 3rd Police Precinct tonight.
As police officers and protesters clash over a man's death.
Miles from Minneapolis, anger, frustration pouring into the streets of America.
I can't breathe! It all stems from this video.
What we saw was that he can be heard on the video saying, "I can't breathe."
Police officers involved have all been terminated.
So what we're seeing right now is the footage of him in the
You can ask Mr. Adams about me. You
have ID?
All the footage, yeah.
Damn, fuck, man. I start breathing, so I'm on me, man. I can't choke. I can't breathe, man.
That's the shot.
He's off
What?
track or no?
But he has
An old trailer.
What happened to him?
All right. You took your ID? Yeah.
So what happened? More drama at Cup Foods?
Couple weeks. Yeah. It was just a forgery report. The person that had given him a fake bill, we went over there and
Bananas.
yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot going on in that. Okay, that was a trailer. We'll put the link in the description. It was hard to describe because it was moving so quickly. So sorry about those guys. Two to the people that are listening. A lot of stuff is going on with this. The story came out that there was a nightclub that both George Floyd and Derek Chauvin worked at that was basically funneling Chinese counterfeit money.
Yeah.
And all the Democratic politicians were in on it. They were all making money off it.
Yeah.
And, this leads to why do they burn down the police headquarters?
Yeah. Can I say something to that?
Yeah.
So El Nuevo Rodeo, Maya Santa Maria is a very influential woman. She was sitting on the board of the NFL. We know about the child trafficking and the links to the NFL.
Well, hold on. What are the links?
Well, they say that there's a lot of child trafficking during I haven't sorry?
During the Super Bowl, they said that there's
I'm sorry, Super Bowl. That's what I'm
there's a lot going on.
The Super Bowl. She was also the head of a radio station called La Raza, and she did employ Derek as a guard. Derek also was working for a club called MA, which is also linked to drug cartel. He is the modern day Martin Bird. Okay, this was Ozarks on COVID. So if you're laundering money, there's a lockdown. What are we gonna do? Let's burn all of Lake Street. When I looked and let me see, Catherine Austin Fitz said, that's not a riot pattern. That's a real estate opportunity. So it was also a way.
100%. You have a Minneapolis 2030 project, which is about flipping Minneapolis into a smart city.
Yeah. I didn't know that, but there one Black Panther that I interviewed called it Mordor. And it's not only precinct 3, it's precinct 4. Guess what precinct 4 was holding? All the information on informants. And my hunch, because initially I thought that Maurice was an informant, Maurice being with George that day, and I did a Freedom of Information Act, and I was like, I'm right. He was an informant for a hot minute. So there are informants, there are unwitting informants, there are useful idiots. They compartmentalize so that not everyone knows. So in the trailer, this is not the latest version, but in the trailer, George Floyd says, I'm scared as when I stop breathing, it's going to go off on me, man. What's going to go off on you, Georgie? So what if he's told, we're going to make you Rodney 2.0. You know that thing you did last year? Just say, I can't breathe. We're going to immortalize you. You're going to be bigger than Rodney King. But he doesn't know that he's not going to wake up. And how would George and Derek not acknowledge one another? They knew each other. I met someone who saw them in the same club. 2 times that I posted on Craigslist, hey, I'm looking for anyone who could give me some information about George and Derek working at El Nuevo. Both times within 30 minutes, flagged, removed. Wow. And it just so happened, like God has, I believe, like I stand for 100% truth. God comes and gives me them on a silver plate. The fact that I manifested to be able to speak to Maurice, to speak to the boy that took the 20. When I interviewed him, he goes, damn, he goes, this is deep. You know a lot. But he was there. He knows nothing, right? I'm the only one that talks about cup foods. There's a whole chapter on that. So this is like a deep state whodunit thriller. This book is for the records. Anyone that buys, still reads and looks. I look for rare books. I'm a bookworm. They're thousands of dollars. So this is for the future. If there's X amount in circulation and they don't want this to come out, then it's history. It's history because this is dedicated to 100% truth and nothing but the truth. Not tries, which are truth, what I say, truth mixed with lies. So it's very deep, like you were saying. So they're laundering money. And there were 16 cameras in El Nuevo Rodeo. What happened to that? Oh yeah, it got burned down. Precinct 4 and Precinct 3 were burned down. I was at a Mark Farina concert in Tampa, and I was sitting down, and the guy beside me happened to be from Minneapolis, and he was there that night. He went and he filmed Precinct 3 getting torched on, and he posted on Snapchat. Snapchat deleted his all his footage, and so he was freaked out and said, don't mention me in your book, don't mention me in your book. So, you know, if you have the receipts of like, here are the receipts, folks, plus what I shared with you about John Tursak, stranger, I haven't shared this, you know, publicly, and I don't have access to share this. So there's a movement to free Derek. You know, someone said, maybe Ben Shapiro can have you on the show. Okay. Trump should have your book. Okay, sure, whatevs. So there's a movement.
Wait, I got a quick question. I got a quick question. You said George Floyd was in on it, right? That they kind of told him he'd be Rodney King. He maybe thought he was going to wake up, right?
I'm saying that's the theory, that when he got out of aggravated robbery in Texas, that
they told him
I believe they made him an FBI informant. And it just so happens when my hunch was like, I wonder if there's a drug corridor from Minneapolis to Texas. And he was a truck driver. Did you know that? It's even in his Wikipedia page. So sorry, what were you going to say?
My question is, do you think Derek was in on it at all? Or you think he was just playing the part? You think they were going to tell him, hey, just kind of...
Well, you know, when Bishop...
I do know, I'll answer you.
When Bishop Larry Gator came on,
he
talked about how the way that Derek Chauvin was positioned is
Cornerstone Ritual Masons.
It's a old creed of, it's the old sect of assassins.
Yeah, it's a Cornerstone Ritual. I have a whole chapter on that. So people don't know that he's dubbed the warlord of Precinct 3, that he trained at the School of Assassins. Hello! That he trained in Germany, technically when he was supposed to be a cop. Plus, he was a real estate agent. So he's a Martin Bird. Do you know that he was wanted? He had a tax evasion case? Yeah.
No.
He had a tax evasion case. Check this out. So it must have been 2022, 2023. And they kept on this. The tax evasion case began before 2020. I believe it's from 2018. Unaccounted, shitloads of unaccounted money, like Martin Berg in the Ozarks. So I went to contact the Attorney General, and he had died 2 months before. Oh, so when I went to look him up, I think his name was Pete Orpit. Pete Orpit died at 66. He left 6 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. These are all little FUs. So they killed him because he was real. And Derek and his wife got little taps on the wrist. But I have a whole chapter on that. I mean, this is really like a whodunit deep state thriller story.
So Derek Chauvin went to Germany, trained with I forget the name of the assassin group he was a part of.
Assassins, SOA.
Yeah, there was the I forget the name of it. You know, Bishop Larry Gators used to. Let me see if I can look it up.
Yeah, if you can find it.
Gators tinfoil hat.
I'm the only one who did a FOIA on the fake money with the Secret Service, the only agency that should have really been in charge. And they never even hypothesize of where this money comes from. You know, it's also the fentanyl, not addressing the fentanyl, because there could have been something else that killed George. Just so people know that if you don't say, hey, I want to look for this and this toxin, the toxicology lab is not going to look for it. And there's actually, in the federal trial of the 3 officers, they admit that, you know, they admit that there could have been something else.
The Thuggies. They're called the Thuggies Cult of Assassins.
Yeah. Well, I haven't heard of Thuggies, but it comes from the SOA. And so to answer your question, if Derek was in on it. So when I asked John Tursak, this is exclusive information, is Derek even alive? This is what he said. They told me to keep him alive. I'm like, well, I don't know what you want me to do with that information. He goes, Mama B. When he read the book, he's like, RESPCT. He's like, Mama B, I want to get you back in the game. And I'm like, I don't want to be in the game. I want to be alive. Like, I've done what God wanted me to do. I'm done. I put myself out there, but John would like to put me as his media expert and get me on his payroll. So that may be where my money comes from, because I'm skirting the edge.
So we have multi-layered psyops going on here. We got George Floyd, we got Derek Chauvin, connected through many different things. You think he was an FBI informant, or at least on the payroll? Derek Chauvin, part of this assassination group, working in this nightclub that is laundering Chinese money. Nobody ever wants to talk about that, right? And have you heard that before? Am I out of pocket in saying that this money laundering stuff was going on with counterfeit bills?
Yeah, I have a whole chapter on
Okay. All right. So I'm not out of pocket.
No, it's not out of pocket. The fentanyl comes with ingredients from China. The bills, there was that year in Minnesota, I have the stats on, there was a problem with counterfeit money, and the Jacob Fries, the Justin Trudeau knockoff, the Tim Walzes, they're all corrupt. And they didn't want this to come out. They didn't want even the way in which this was covered, right? Under the Rona, you could go in and just look at the materials, the exhibits. Then during the Derek Chauvin trial, I mean, come on, all the witnesses were scared for their life. People don't know there was a surveillance program that happened with MIT. I get into that because this is all about track and trace, right? This is all about like law and order.
Yeah. Martial law.
Yeah.
Martial law. Guys, we are having a population problem. Not enough dudes are shooting up the club. And to shoot up the club, you got to have a long rifle. And that's why I'm going to tell you about one company that's trying to save humanity, and that's Blue Chew. Close enough. Let me tell you about Blue Chew. Hey guys, do you want to enter the room dick first? Okay. Yeah, of course. We all do. All right. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet. It is a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex, okay? I love it, dude. I eat it, then my dick eats one, and we were double bangers, bro. Double bangers, dude. And we just roam the streets, keeping the city safe for the ladies. And guess what? Everybody's getting pregnant. That's how it goes. Everybody gets pregnant. That's how it goes. We're shooting mad shots, okay? Mad shots. Now, I'm probably down to one a night, but still, that shot is lethal. Bang, bang,
He
pow.
don't miss.
Yeah, daddy don't miss.
You doing the max combo?
Max combo. Oh, yeah. Getting into it. I just want an angry dick. That one's so big, it's so angry, it just fights for freedom. That's what I'm looking for, guys. Okay? So, guys, this isn't just a call about performance. It's about legacy or third legacy, okay?
Now that's good.
Give her group chat something to talk about. You know, when you lay it down, they're talking about how it gets up. Yes, nothing makes you more a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use the promo code TINFOIL at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And a huge rock hard thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. Guys, these are stressful times, and you got to learn to just chill out. And that's why I want to tell you about our good friends at Cornbread Hemp. That's right. They got everything you want. What do they got? XG, they got gummies. They got
Ulcers, everything you need, anything to keep you chilled out.
Yeah, let me tell you about Cornbread Hemp. Have you been looking for a natural way to relieve aches and discomfort? The CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp are formulated to work with your body and not against it. Cornbread hemp CBD gummies are made to help you feel better, whether it's stress, discomfort, or just needing a little relaxation. They only use the best part of the hemp plant, the flower, formulated to help relieve discomfort, stress, and sleeplessness. All products are third-party lab tested and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. Okay, so here's what we need you to do. Right now, Tinfoil Hat listeners, aka the Swarm, okay, can save 30% on their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/
tinfoil.
That's cornbreadhemp/
tinfoil.
And use the code
tinfoil
at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/
tinfoil.
And use the code
tinfoil.
And we thank them for sponsoring our show. So then we have the BLM movement come in. And this is all kind of set up a long time ago with Obama phones. And Obama gave out free phones to everybody. And when something's free, you're the product. And basically what they were doing were data mining on what upsets certain demographics. And obviously we know now today, and we've probably known for a long time, white cops, black people have a very hard relationship over hundreds of years. And they realize that. And this is how they kind of crank it up based on the data of what people are watching, what they're commenting on, what they're talking about. They realize this issue is a powder keg. And then they set up BLM, which, you know, it kind of gets into this thing where you have this kind of movement. Let's take gay people, right? You have the gay community, and then you have queer theory. And queer theory is the weaponized version of the homosexual community. It is where the hardened extremists are, and it all leads to completely destroying all archetypes and paradigms in which society has functioned for hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years. It's all about destroying. And I've said this before. I got in a discussion with a buddy of mine that doesn't believe there's any progressives in politics, and he doesn't want to admit it. I love him to pieces, but he just doesn't want to admit it. Like, again, everyone's going crazy on Rogan for having Trump on, but no one's mad at all these guys for having Obama or Hillary and any of these people on. Well, after they already committed all these horrible war crimes, and then they label them as, oh, they're not progressives, they're actually conservatives. I go, well, you can say that, but they play to the progressive left. The progressive left owns Obama. They own Hillary. They own all that shit. But when you look at the civil rights movement, we can get into, obviously there's CIA, FBI fingerprints all over that since the beginning of time. Everything's about divide and conquer. But when you look at the civil rights movement, you have that, and then you have BLM comes, and they were openly talking about how they were Marxist witches. And this is like this guy named Marcellus Wiley, and he was on ESPN, and this is the beginning of the end of him being on ESPN, because he's talking about like all the things that BLM says their goal is. As black women, they're talking about destroying the family unit.
Right.
And we all understand how devastating that was to the black community.
Right.
And so this is all, again, this desire. So the Democrats always play to the left. The Republicans always play to the right. The Democrats will always give the left what they want for the most part, because the left wants subversion. They want to destroy paradigms and archetypes. The right, if you listen to them, a lot of themselves, yes, they are pro-war, and that's a big problem. And I'm not saying the right is perfect in any way. I'm just saying they want a strong family unit. They want strong church. They want strong economy. They want strong law enforcement. Those things strengthen America. Right. And that's why the right will, and we're seeing this with Trump right now, why they don't want to give that. Oh, Trump is like bringing ICE and cops and all that stuff. Not in the sense of the traditional sense, but more in the totalitarian sense of it, meaning these things will be used as a weapon of power against the population. And that's why the right never gives, not never, but they tend not to give the right what they really want, which is lower taxes, which helps the economy, the family unit, strong education, and all that stuff. That's how the game is played right now, and we're seeing it happen in full force. Now, this is where I'm going to lose people because they're going to tell me I have Trump derangement syndrome, even though when he does something right, I talk about it. The whole thing about Hitler and the big argument for Hitler is that Hitler was burning books and he was shutting down the trans institutions in Germany. I go, well, what is Trump doing? Trump is getting trans out of sports. Trump is not allowing, these kind of sex education and trans stuff happening in schools. It's the same thing, just done a little different. Enough that it's not like, whoa, this is some Hitler shit. It's just enough to appease the right side. But it's the same thing. He's going to war against the trans movement. And I'm not saying, and again, that I don't want trans in schools. I mean, I don't want sex education in schools. I think it's stupid. And if you knew the history of sex education, you would be horrified about what it actually is. But that is what Trump's doing, right? Getting trans out of sports, getting rid of sex changes for kids, all this kind of movement that we see going on, which is kind of similar to what Hitler was doing in Germany, appeasing the right.
So
and go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say it's two sides of the same coin. And I believe if you distill it, even the attack on families, whatever, it's an attack against love. It's an attack on divinity. It's an attack on humanity. Transhumanism is very part of it. We're nanoforming the planet. People are not realizing it. People, because this is also divisive to say pure bloods and people who are jabbed. However, there's a vacancy that has gone on. And while we're fighting between left and right, the agenda is still moving forward. Let's not forget BLM, NIH looked to BLM in 2020 to get their messaging to increase jabs. Let's not forget that Fauci was going door to door. And so when I say that we went from virus to violence, this also was used to usher in I Can't Breathe as we're being put under face diapers. Let's not forget that BLM used I Can't Breathe with Eric Garner, and Benji Crump was also associated with that. So they brought it back as they are muzzling us. And if, oh, look, the government cares about systemic racism, maybe this jab is okay. And that was the goal as they're ushering a color revolution. So like I said, if George Floyd was a stone, he would have killed a lot more than two birds. And all of these crises are used for multiple.
Do you guys remember when they were like, listen, scientists are saying that, it's okay to meet for BLM rallies because you're not going to transfer the virus, and like nobody blinked at that. I mean, like, yeah, we were saying how stupid that sounds, but nobody was like, how does that work? And unfortunately, we're probably going to get more saturated and stupid. So no one will look back going, so you thought that if you sat at a restaurant, you couldn't get the virus, but if you stood up, you could get the virus. Like how dumb that was. I mean, obviously everyone on the show and people in our genre and people within the truth community were crying how stupid that is. But I mean, it was really an idiot test.
Yeah.
Dude, what I can't wait, I've said it, I can't wait to see like a high school yearbook where COVID's in it. And I want to know what's the narrative on a high school yearbook on COVID, on if they're going to run on a Dr. Fauci was still correct, masks were right. I really want to know what the narrative on a high school yearbook is going to be.
I think it's going to be that they were right.
Speaking of yearbooks, I would like to tell you that I'm exhaustive in my journalism. Nobody could ever pay me enough money for my work. There's no appreciation of what really goes on when you're not a parrot and a prostitute. But I did call both for Derek and George to get their yearbooks. And because George is an amalgamation of three different people, it was convenient that A&M University and another school that I contacted. Oh, you didn't have a yearbook. Okay.
Hold on. What? Who didn't have a yearbook?
the university that I contacted where George, I believe it's A&M University, said that they did not have a yearbook.
Do colleges have yearbooks, by the way? I didn't have a yearbook.
I remember they kind of have to, they're like private ones that you can pay for to be in, but yeah, mine, North Carolina didn't have one either.
It's interesting.
Oh yeah? They show you this. This is a picture of one of the exhibits of George Floyd. I don't know, why is it blurry?
I don't know, because
let me spotlight you just a second. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we see it. It's unbelievable, dude.
This is a screenshot because we all know that they celebrated the increase in deaths post jib jab, and this was an investor day. I'm just gonna maybe scroll through. Also, oh yeah, so if I were to ask you who organized the funerals for George Floyd, not one, but 4 funerals while you got to bury your loved one via Zoom, what would you say?
Say the government.
I would say USAID.
Yeah, it was a PR company for the United States government.
A PR company said, do you know the name of that PR company?
I do. It's Mercury. And it has ties with Podestas.
Oh, that is crazy.
I go into that, and but that's, after the informant, after John Tursak read my book, I'm like, do you understand now why I'm censored? I'll share with you. We still do not know. I have an image of the weapon that was used. I have a picture of Derek Chauvin. It's been a year and a half. No press has covered this. I could give them an exclusive. Nobody cares. So that week, back in the day, having worked at MSNBC, in Burbank, where the Tonight Show was filmed, where Days of Our Lives was filmed, that I could get at the newsroom and say, I've got a tip, right? Now it's Fort Knox. Now they're woke. Now they don't care. So that week, literally 60 Minutes and Fox is trying to get an exclusive with Tursak. And I'm trying to reach them to be like, I'll be his proxy because he doesn't want to go with them because they've lied. So that week, I ordered a burger from True Food Kitchen, and the burger came with a big fat cockroach in it. And I promise you out loud, I have said, yeah, she goes by the bee lady, but she's more like a cockroach because she won't go away. And then I get this small box. Like, there's no way, you didn't see the roach. There's no way. Like, how did it get in there? Who put it in there? Maybe the driver, but it scared me. There's also.
Was it alive or dead?
Oh, no, it was very alive. It was very alive.
That is so.
That was very disturbing to me.
That is super disturbing. Did you sue them?
No, I could do it on Uber Eats. It's all AI. I couldn't even get a refund. I called the restaurant and they sent me a gift card, but they were like, they weren't even mortified. I learned that they spray on a weekly basis. They bomb the whole place with chemicals that in Florida. So that's another thing, like, people don't consider that. I will say one other odd thing, that if you saw the trailer, George Floyd is holding a banana. Okay. And in the end, Thomas Lane, one of the officers, is in the fire truck, and he says, so what happened? And then he said, she cuts him off. She goes, he went bananas. So what came to mind is Curious George. I was still in San Francisco and I told Zach, and he goes, Mimi, that's racist. And I'm like, well, it's like a black guy holding a banana. So I went and I looked for the Curious George. The last book in the series is Curious George Goes to the Hospital. Curious George swallows a puzzle piece, which is the drugs, which is the truth.
Oh
and,
my God.
And he goes to the hospital and he is seen by a Dr. Baker. And Dr. Baker is the name of the medical examiner.
Holy shit.
I have a photo that I put together, and
holy shit.
It's in there. And then about 2 months ago, around the time I got the cockroach, I go on my cell phone to get online, to put the Wi-Fi on, and there's Curious George is the name of like, I've never seen that before. So it freaked me out.
That is the last one. That is his last book. The last book is Curious George goes to.
I can't see anything on the share screen.
I can't see either.
Oh, you guys can't see that? Never mind. Sorry about that. Maybe.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it for a second.
Can you put it back up?
Yeah, put it back up.
Okay.
So Xavier Guerrero.
Yeah, I guess it's the last one.
Well,
I
we can't see it.
I can't see.
Oh, there it
you go.
is. There it is. Yep. Curious George goes to the where? Oh, yep. There it is. Curious George goes to the hospital.
Here I have I did a graph. So you have a picture of George holding the banana. Here's Curious George holding the banana.
Here, put it back. I can't see what she's showing, Johnny.
Yeah, you're good.
That's
I'm
not
gonna
Okay.
take it off right now.
Can you
Could
see
you,
that? Why is it?
Miriam, could you put it in front of your face possibly? You have your background blurred, and I think it's still not working. It's just detecting your face and kind of de-blurring.
Okay, I don't
blurring
know.
the rest.
But anyway, oops. Anyway, Zach told me it's a racist, but that's why I follow my hunches. And that's why we should all follow our intuition, even if it's crazy, because from quantum, like my second book now is looking at quantum physics, and I'm not a science mind, but I realize it takes an unusual mind to see an anomaly. And by observing it, it changes the reality. So that more pertains to my second book, but follow your hunches. And they mess with people. They say that they tailor their torture in different ways. It's a personalized algorithm just for you.
Okay, so let's get into the Derek Chauvin thing. So you talked to the guy who supposedly shanked him?
I am talking to him on a regular basis.
Okay, tell us what you've learned.
I would love that. Okay, so John Tursak, aka Stranger, he got out of Pelican Bay at 19, and the FBI
Graduated.
He
He got his degree.
Got a degree. He's been in prison more than he's been on the outside. So at 19, he was recruited for the FBI. He was getting paid $2,000 a month, not bad. And in the end, during the time, Mayorkas was trying to get a death penalty for Chuy Martinez. So maybe you remember that case. I don't, but this all happened in LA. He was supposed to, as an informant, get a downward departure, which means the least amount of time. Okay, so because Mayorkas wanted, this was for political prestige, he recruited some opposing gang members and made them informants. And they threw John Tursak under the bus. These opposing informants, gang members, helped get 40 indictments. The people that were arrested got 10 to 20 years. John got 30. And I reached out to his lawyer in Los Angeles, and I read the 100-page case around the time that Derek got stabbed. When I called the lawyer in Los Angeles, has any other journalist reached out to you? Nope. No one. So I read the case, and in the case, John goes pro se. Now, if anyone goes pro se, they are not a fan.
What is pro se?
Pro se is when you're defending yourself. And you get even more special treatments. Like you get diesel therapy, which is when they take you from one prison to the next. They put you in isolation. They don't allow you certain privileges, like, I don't know, writing materials or whatever. Anyway, they were messing with him. Now, I ask you, why did they send Derek Chauvin to a prison where there's a lot of gang members? Why? Apparently, in some rap songs, I haven't found them. This was after my book came out, that they were goading they were putting it in the narrative that it would get prestige to stab this pig, okay, this racist pig. So now John Tursak was facing 3 more years after a 30-year sentence. And when I came across the case, I'm like, what stuck with me is like, how is this guy an FBI informant and a gang member and still alive? Like, something doesn't make sense here. So the truth is that he wasn't a snitch. He used the FBI and he gathered information to fuck off to the faction, and he never ratted. But then when this happened, when he shanked Derek, the AP and the little articles that came out were saying that he's a snitch. Now, maybe because he has an ego, he's been in jail for so long, he didn't realize that he was socially engineered. Like, he learned a lot by reading my book. So to get back in the game, like I told you, whether it's the FBI, whoever, there's another NCIS. I don't remember the term right now, but it's something to do with narcotics, I believe. Now, I'll tell you that John Tursak and gang members, the OGs, are not down with killing children and ravishing America with fentanyl. That John Tursak, wants to get out and help clean up America with Trump. So, I'm waiting for him to put me on if they allow him. Now I'll share something else. So Derek gets stabbed. I call.
Hold on, real quick. Yeah. You said something. You moved on. He wants to get back in the game. What does that mean?
Well, it's all about prestige, and he's a OG gang member. So
he wants to go back to gang banging.
He wants to be relevant, right? Okay. He wants to be relevant. This was very prestigious to be the man who stabbed the racist pig cop, right? And he's been in prison. He has a lot of sway. He's an OG La MA gang member. So when Derek got stabbed, I called. It was very bizarre because the hospital that they named was not the actual hospital. I called the prison. I couldn't, and I asked right away to speak to John Tursak. Now I'm reading, this is in the future, I'm reading the letter that John wrote to me. So when I called the Arizona Federal Prison, I said, I want to speak to him. So this is what the government said to John. There's a conspiracy theorist who directed a movie about bees, but don't mind that psycho kook. So he let it go, but the woman said bees. So now forward, I'm looking at Pacer, and I know that he's represented himself, so I know he's not a fan of the government. So I'm like, he got rid of that lawyer, got rid of that lawyer, he got rid of that lawyer. I'm also inferring they don't want this to go to trial. So then there's a lawyer that sticks. So I reach out to him and say, hey, can you ask John if I can write to him? I write to him via email to the lawyer. Now he has the lawyer. John is on speakerphone with this lawyer, and there's hundreds of journalists that are wanting exclusives. So he's like, Tommy is the name of the lawyer. Tommy says, oh, you'd love this one. She'd make the perfect pen pal. And John goes, stop me, old man. Is she at least hot? And the lawyer goes, smoking. And in this picture, she's covered up in bees. So he says, it's the bee lady. He doesn't even know that's my nickname. So he realizes it's the same girl. So then he's Czech Mexican, but he converted to Islam. So he's like, what's the name of this bee lady? And then when he said Maryam, he said that he got hit with a lightning bolt and he went on his knees and he thanked Allah because he had prayed for a beautiful, courageous, and intelligent journalist. So from his point of view, he manifested me and we hit it off right away. And he said, I might be a cold-blooded murderer, but I will never lie to you. And I'm no liar. And I respect that because and he goes, I know you're not going to lie to me. So then we started talking 5 minutes at a time. And he thinks I'm the chick that did a movie on bees. So then I sent him my PDF and he read my book in a week. And now I just sent the lawyer my resume and he's trying to put me on his payroll. So it's very strange, Hunter S. Thompson-esque.
So you talked to this guy and he told you what happened, why he stabbed
He
him
wrote
and
to
all.
me. He's written to me many times and he just sent me a big packet. I can get it. I mean, it's right
No, well, but
with the weapon and
did he explain to you the event that happened with the stabbing?
yeah, they're in the library. It's not full-fledged. I just have wisps. They were in the library. For whatever reason, Derek was sniding him or goading him. So when I got the photo of Derek, excuse me, he's very bloated. And I said to him, how do you know you really you really stabbed Derek? How do you know they didn't swap him out? How do you know? The picture, you can't really tell if it really is Derek. But I will tell you, Derek is paralyzed and using a shit bag. And nobody knows this. But they're doing a free Derek movement. But no one's talking about
Well, how do you know this?
Well, John told me. Have I confirmed it? He's stabbed 22 times, Sam.
Yeah.
And I can show you
he
the
did
weapon.
got stabbed 22 times. Yeah, I don't know how you would view.
He
not
got
in some
stabbed. The
critical
fact that he's
condition.
alive, and then check this out. They punctured his lung. When he was in the hospital, what did he say? I can't breathe. Like, really? How can we get more ironic of that? Do I feel bad for Derek? Yeah. I feel bad for all these Nazis.
Did the guy who stabbed him get any recognition from his gang? Like, is he like wanted? Does he get any better treatment? Because that's usually what happens. You end up doing a crime or a job for your gang, and you're
Stranger
higher
is
in the ranks.
known. Stranger is well known. Yes, he has pull in jail, and I just talked to one of his inmates, one of his friends, or one of the inmates in there who got out after 26 years that he had befriended. So he gave me his number in case I needed any help. But I mean, he's not in Florida, because I would think, yeah, I was on with a radio station and they said, frankly, I'm surprised you're still alive, to which I said, cancel, clear, delete. I am protected. But they do kill journalists. And this is arguably the most information on any psychological operation on the face of the planet. So I really hope people will support the book, because the first publisher sourced my intelligence for his chapter. The second publisher sat on it for 6 months and then told me she was afraid for her life. The third publisher sat on it for a year and put his logo in my book, did nothing to my formatting, and misspelled my name. After when he got the format, he goes, I'm a prick. And I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, I like detail. So then a year later, I'm like, you spelled my name wrong. No one pays attention.
That's funny. That's ironic there. Jeez.
Well, he was extorting money from me.
Ah, there it is.
Oh my God. So let me ask you something. There is this kind of movement to be like, Derek Chauvin didn't do anything. What is your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is, if anyone watched the trial, it's a sham show trial. And if you were paying attention, you would have thought that Derek was going to win the case. And with all of these trials, they represent we the people. Like, personally, I think the Alex Jones trial was for people like me in the future to not be able to be a journalist. And I think it was a circus trial. And the example that I give is that they had us in the Alex Jones trial, they had a sidebar. Now, a sidebar is supposed to be a quiet, nobody hears it. It's a sidebar. But everybody, all the boys and girls could hear the sidebar. So I don't think that Derek, I feel sorry for him. These guys worked together at the same club. There's some rumors that there was a girl they were fighting over. I haven't come across any tangible.
Imagine a chick that's both into George Floyd and Derek Chauvin. I mean, you have wide.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's true. I did watch.
She'd brag about it. She'd brag about it.
It's like she just wants the rainbow. Well, you bring up Alex Jones. just did a show. Eddie Bravo, Mark Steves, the Booker, Robbie the Fire Bernstein, and Richard Grove were on stage, and Richard Grove brought up the trial of Alex Jones. And, Eddie Bravo is very close with Alex Jones and considers him a very good friend. Two of us, me and Xavier, have met with Alex Jones. I find
Alex Jones, I've met Alex. He knows my B movie.
I find him to be a very kind, nice guy, very respectful. But that trial is just full of shit. There's just a ton of it that doesn't make sense, whether Alex Jones is in on it or not. You remember they were going to take his studio. They never took his studio. That all that crazy shit. So I'm not here to shit on.
And me either. I do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. I listen to a lot of things. I just encourage people, and I don't know, unless they do research in this day and age, it's very difficult. I mean, half of my footnotes are scrubbed off of archive.org, like literally scrubbed. I'm lucky that I was doing a live investigation in real time and witnessing things being so. I believe there's very few people that are really doing investigative journalism. And it's unfortunate because as a brown ethnic chick from Montreal, Canada, French is my first language. I've done good for myself, but I didn't realize that I would reach a glass ceiling and pretty much not be able to make a living. Back in the day in LA, I used to get paid $2 a word. Now it's like, please sign up for my Substack. Give me $5. It's humiliating. I have 2 degrees. I'm clearly very intelligent. And I thought it was a good thing to put together the truth. And like I said, I did not. This is like a Russian doll. Let
me ask you something real quick.
Yeah.
You mentioned the murder weapon. Have you ever seen the murder weapon?
Yeah, I have a picture right around my panel. I can show it to you. No one else has seen it. Do you want to see it?
Yes, I'd like to see it.
I'll be right. It's like right, literally. So, John Stranger, as he likes to go by, just sent me all of this, a letter to me, explaining, he wants to set his record straight. I mean, he has ego, and they were going to give him 60 years. He had 3 more years left, so they don't want him to go to trial. So he put together the list of people that he wanted to show up, and they were, big time OG. And now they're giving him a sweet deal. This is a picture. Well, how are we going to do this if it's...
I just put it up there. Let's see what we can see. Oh, yeah, we can see it. Is that Derek Chauvin?
Yeah, but is it Derek Chauvin? I don't really know.
He does look pretty swollen.
Yeah, it looks pretty. Let me get there's another picture here.
That's the shank.
Oh, yeah, you can see what.
I don't know how many inches. Yeah.
My only thing is, wouldn't they keep him away from other ethnic?
No, not they don't want him,
ethnics?
not they want him dead.
Well, I mean, yeah, but then that's what I mean. It would be what is it? Pedophiles, you keep them in another yard because they might get stabbed. So I'm assuming you would keep the guy that started the BLM riots away from other black people. I would just assume that would be protocol.
Well, look,
unless you want him dead.
I was talking to Zach yesterday, and he's like, Mimi, how do you know he's not a psyop? And I said, I don't think he's a psyop because they have lambasted his story, and no press has written about John Tursak. I do find it strange. It's literally been 1.5 years. No article has come out. I've only written about it in my Substack. And this was 7.5 inches in length, 3/4 inches in width, 1/16 inches thick. The prison-made weapon consisted of metal and is silver in color. The prison-made weapon, They created a handle with a lanyard. The fabric appeared to be soaked in blood. The number 606 was stamped into the metal. The metal had 3 holes. Staff handled the weapon with latex glove. A chain of custody was form was completed, and the weapon was secured into the evidence safe located. Look, if he was told to, like, the point is we're disposable, right? You're used and then you're disposed of.
Okay, so I am looking at your book right now. Do you know the price of it on Amazon?
I know, I priced it. Yes,
6666.
Yes, I priced it.
Why'd you price it at that?
Because the devil is all over this, and a friend. It's like back in the day, you used to support your friends and buy their book or their album or whatever. So this guy goes, Bob Riley's book is only $30. I'm like, I don't give a about Bob Riley. People are faking gay, and I've risked my life.
I just bought your book.
Oh, thank you. From Amazon or from me?
From Amazon. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Why am I an asshole?
You're not an asshole.
I
would rather from me, but I will see if I am not allowed on Amazon. They allowed me to keep my KDP. So hopefully they won't mess with the numbers with the accounting. I have no idea. But people can go to MaryamHenein.com and they can use the coupon code GFBook and they can get a signed copy. I really would love it if you could support me, because
we'll put all the links below, Maryam.
Thank you.
It was a wild ride. We enjoyed the conversation. Hopefully your credit didn't get destroyed by these 2 cars and you're doing okay. One more time.
2 cars. It's only 1 car.
I thought you said 2 cars.
No, it's only 1 car, the Denali.
Okay.
And my credit has been
annihilated.
Well, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we live and we learn.
This guy.
This guy. Maryam, one more time, tell them where they can find you.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen. You can find me on Fridays on Rumble. Truth Lives Here, 3:00 live. You can check me out on maryamhenein.substack.com, which is where I write these days. You can buzz on over to honeycolony.com and use BLady15. This is my health and wellness magazine and marketplace of 15 years. And what else? You can go and check out the book and the DVD on maryamhenein.com, and you can use GF Book for 15% off if you so wish, because people are offended by the 6666, but the ebook is $33.33 on Amazon. And I'm going to do an Audible when I have time to train the AI to do my British accent. Yeah, thank you.
Voiceovers are done, dude. Voiceovers are done. All right, guys. Great episode. Let's break it down.
Thank you.
All right. What'd you guys think of Maryam? She goes hard in the paint, huh?
Big time.
Dude. She's not effing around.
No, dude, she got knowledge. She went deep on that George Floyd stuff.
I mean, there's not a lot of shows that you can go that deep on with George Floyd that people wouldn't be weirded out. When you're bringing up Curious George books and it lines up, there's not a lot of places that can take that data.
Well, what I appreciate most about, sorry, you have more to that?
No, go on.
What I appreciate most about her is that she's, doing proper journalism. I mean, she's actually contacting the primary sources, the people, the witnesses, the people who are involved in because most people, they do research, but they're not calling the people involved in the incidents. There's this kind of almost like a fear to be associated, to be in contact with those people, but they're just people. And they're only going to say, hey, I can't talk about that possibly. And I love that she just dives in. She's fearless, man. I really appreciate that.
You're right, Johnny. She was in contact with the guy that stabbed.
Yeah.
Dude, that is crazy.
Who would do that? Good for her.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, how nuts is that? You called up the guy that stabbed her?
I mean, what else? What's he got to do?
I was about to say, those guys, all those guys.
Hold on, there's a chick on the line. Yeah, I'll take the call.
I think so. Yeah.
What are you wearing?
Yeah, that's exactly. I'll tell you this if you tell me what you're wearing. Little
Yeah,
things.
exactly. You know, it's kind of nuts, dude. It's like that whole story is just so more complicated than anyone even understands or wants to look into.
You think anything will ever come out, like officially?
No,
Like
I mean,
officially,
if
you
it
think that'll
does,
be
it
the
will be
narrative
like-
forever?
It will be like 40 years from now when everyone's gone. And they'll be like, that didn't make any sense. Because, you know, there's people, when they talk about it, people threaten lawsuits.
Yeah. And I think there are ways they do these things that they're just, it's impossible because so many people are involved in it that don't know that they're involved in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's enough just to have George Floyd with, you know, whatever was in his system. I mean, that's enough to make this whole thing work. So I mean, yeah, I doubt we'll ever get full confirmation of exactly what happened.
I don't know, dude.
You know what I mean, though? Like, it's enough to just make it so that the first person to put any weight on him kills him, you know?
You talked about suing people that talk about this. I mean, Johnny, you know, I mean, this is on a whole different note, but that whole Candace Owen getting sued by Bridget McCone, can that stick at all from a whole different country?
What country is she suing her in?
In America.
In America.
In America? Yeah, less likely in America. If it was in the UK, possibly, but...
But how about the fact that George Floyd's funerals were produced by a PR team?
Mercury.
I looked
them
that's
up.
wild. Yeah.
Wasn't that wild?
Yeah, that is something. I mean,
No, and do you guys remember the funerals? They weren't nothing of normal. They were upscale, an hour in Washington, an hour in Boston. Like they had like viewings for hours.
And then they were carrying this tiny casket that we thought that George Floyd was in. They wanted us to believe it, and it wasn't even long enough for him. I mean, what are we talking about? And they're like, you remember the weird your Wanda meme where you do something stupid and then the guys dancing with it? I mean,
yeah.
That's almost like an occult, like revelation of the method.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts. It's totally
they
crazy.
literally have him painted on graffiti as a saint.
Imagine going to George Floyd University. We'll get into that real quick. Go to samtripoli.com. Again, all my premium content's there. We just found out Sonny Leone is not dead. She's still alive. So you still have hope, guys. All of my videos go there. All my premium content goes there. It's just pure fire. Really good stuff. Now there's things on there you don't see. We don't list the dangerous on the front page. You have to go deep in, and I'll occasionally put out a dangerous episode, you know, whether it involves maybe someone could get sued or it's a top, even though there's not a lot of dangerous topics left, you know, but occasionally you'll get a dangerous. So go samtripoli.com, 3 episodes a week. Cash Daddy's Johnny, talk to me, Maverick, talk to me.
Talk to me, Goose. Sam, talk to me, Goose.
Okay.
I appreciate that you think I'm Maverick in this situation.
No problem, buddy. No problem.
Yeah, Howie killing it. He actually just posted a couple of plays that I think people would be interested in. If you want to actually get in on the action right now, it's happening. Go there. We had a good week. We've been killing it over there. The good thing is, even if the economy's down, the stock market's down rather, he's still banking because all we need is movement, volatility.
Johnny, I just had a crypto go crazy.
Cuckoo crazy?
Which one?
Last play. I went to the other day. It went from I had $4,000, went up to 20 grand.
I thought you sold all that.
Nope.
You got any fat season stuff?
You're gonna sell it now though, right?
No, I sold that a long time ago.
Are you gonna sell the last?
No, because this thing's supposed to go way higher. He knows.
But didn't you like not sell it last time, and then you wanted to off yourself?
But it's supposed to go even higher. Go down.
Sell it,
down.
Sell it.
New T-shirts coming up. Hopefully, by the time you listen to this, the Wood Army T-shirt and the oh, by the way, we have a new secret shirt. That's why I forgot to say last time. Not going to be listed. Only getting the live shows. Very excited about it. Very excited about it. So new t-shirts up, Modern Day Prophet up. Okay. That will be up by time. I also want to tell you about our buddy at Rife Technologies. Align your energy, your electromagnetic energy inside you. He's good at that. And then, of course, I take it every day. Took it today. Chemical Free Body from our boy. Yeah, there we go. Bang. There we go. Chemical Free Tim James. We love him very much. He's been on the show a bunch of times. Best time ever. And that's, yeah, go check it out, man. I take it every day. And that's the best thing I can say to you. I take it every day. And then we have all my audios there, my radio shows there. You know, you get on Nuke Social, you can get all my social media. Anything else, guys?
Hit that like button. Go to YouTube and type in Extreme Marks and Spy. I got new blogs, new poker stuff. Go head over there, please.
Don't forget YouTube, Tinfoil Hat YouTube, youtube.com/@tinfoilhat YouTube. Go check that out. Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to spell there. Okay.
See if it shows up. See? Doesn't even
That's
show
okay,
up.
though.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
does. It does. See, it does show
there
up
it
now.
does.
There we go.
Yeah, so it says, ours says Swarm. We appreciate the young man who's putting out the episodes there. We're fine with it. Let's go. Johnny, anything?
Yeah, just come hang out on Twitter at Johnny Woodard. We're having a good time over there, yelling at each other.
Everybody supernova. And then Chaos Twins are out too. So it's about to go out. Grab your issue now, issue number 2. And we're going to start working on how can we get this animation going. That's it. Back to the interview. Maryam does deep dive. These are narratives. These are high impact events. They don't want you talking about it. If you can't even talk about it, and then they're going to sue you, because they don't want you talking about it. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
They've also, I mean, she's just not been treated well by publishers. It sounds like they don't want this book coming, or they didn't want her book coming out. And then the film, go check it out because it's clear they don't want you to see it.
Yeah. We need to have a watch party sometime, maybe.
I could do that.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
We should do that with stuff that we could actually get the rights to, like that, you know, from people we know personally.
Yeah, but where would we put it? We can't put it on YouTube. They will murk us.
Not for that, because she's got the rights.
Yeah, like if
but the subject matter could piss them off.
Oh yeah, well we'd have to do it on like a
Rumble.
Twitter, obviously. X is the place.
Yeah, they don't give a. It's the best.
We're in a spiritual. Yeah.
Well, the numbers on X are good too.
Yeah, we're crushing it on X. Yeah. We're crushing it on X. Never forget. You know, we're doing it. We're making it happen over there. And Dana's like, is anyone watching on X? I'm like, we're doing huge numbers. And I'm like, yeah, dude, people love X. You know, it's so funny. X got really crazy. Then it got like super negative, whatever. And now it's kind of eased into it.
Yeah, I would like to see them do better with the video. Like where it's like if you accidentally click off of it, or you can find it again. You know what I mean?
They do have a couple things. They have to allow you to put thumbnails too. That's the next thing.
Yes.
They need thumbnails on there because our thumbnails are fire.
Yeah, you need to be able to customize that whole presentation of that video.
Hey Sam, people want me to ask you because you know people always want like a breaking news. Do you think Ghislaine's getting out? You think that's going down the pardon?
Well, or they could just offer and just rearrange her face so those fat Jew tits are out and about. What, Johnny?
No, I was just thinking about you. You know, you'd always said she was the best looking one, and I saw that picture you posted on your website, and she was.
She was a smoke show, right?
Great. Yeah. No,
well, compared to her sister, she's a smoke show. She's not really a smoke show.
She was sexy.
No, but dude, in her day,
yeah,
when she was in her prime, she was hot.
Yep.
And, yeah.
100%.
And
you would hit XG. You would ask her.
XG wouldn't think
XG would hit it. He'd become a citizen of Israel just to hit that shit.
Imagine,
hey, I can't get in America, but can I become a citizen of Israel, dog?
Imagine it would have been me instead of Jeffrey. I'd have an island.
And they would just talk about your bad knees. Dude, Alan Dershowitz is nuts. This guy is nuts.
You can't stop talking about it. You'd think you'd want to shut up about it if you.
He's like, listen, he wasn't a pedophile. He just liked 16-year-olds. Okay.
Crazy.
It's like, bro. But the craziest thing is his defense of snuff films.
Did he? Oh, I didn't hear this.
Yeah. He's like, gets legalese about it. It's like, where did it happen?
Wait. So if it didn't happen in America, it's not prosecutable? Is that
100%. That's what he's saying.
He's so dumb. What a dummy.
And they just keep giving him time to talk. It's so nuts to me. It's so nuts to me.
I mean, yeah, the thing is, there just aren't that many people that are have any kind of authority on the issue that are willing to talk about it, because most people, related to that don't want their name associated with it in any way. So he just keeps getting passed around.
Oh yeah, he's been passed around for sure.
Boy, I think that's what
All right, guys. Anything else?
No, hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
Yes.
Guys, subscribe. Be our friend. Build our channel.
Hold on, actually, I'll show you real quick what she looked like when she was
Yeah,
a woman.
yeah.
She's really not. I mean, she's a classy broad, you can tell. But here you go. Check this out. There she is.
Okay. And she's hiding the milkers.
Yeah, but that's not even the Haas picture of her. But she's pretty hot there.
Pretty classy. That's someone that you take to your mom. I get what Johnny means.
Oh, you would love to take her to your mom. Hey, mom, this is my girl. She runs a sex trafficking operation.
Yeah.
And I think I love her, dog.
Pretty cute there.
Yeah, that's her pops, right? I'm guessing that's her dad. That's Robert.
Yes, the scam artist. Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Anything else?
Nah, that's it.
All right. Dude, Ryan sent me some crazy pictures of him. All right, enjoy the highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
We're going to Boston. We're flying. It's raining.
I feel like I'm living every beat of this. This is excruciating.
So we go there. We're trying to find it. Our LA Waze is struggling. Okay, these LA Waze is struggling. It doesn't know what to do. We're deep in Tartaria. We're trying to find it. And so Eddie puts in he uses his GPS, finds it. We go to the hotel. Johnny, this is a giant hotel in the middle of downtown Boston. And guess what? They don't have a valet. They don't have parking.
Oh my God. Are you telling me this hotel does not have a valet? I am out of here. My gay dollars are out of here. We're all leaving.
Johnny, I got to be honest with you. This character sucks. Okay. This is your worst character.
That's what I'm doing you right now.
You're not doing me,
fancy.
Johnny.
You sound so
You're
fancy.
sitting in a hotel and there's nowhere to park. That is an issue.
You sound so fancy right now, Sam. I think this place doesn't have a valet.
Johnny, even a crack hotel has parking. Okay? Every hotel has parking. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're pulling into a metropolis and there's nowhere to park? They're like, sorry, we don't have parking. You have to go to a parking garage. And by the way, it's raining. We had to go 3 blocks down the street.
Sam, this is officially an atrocity. I just want you to know that.
Dude, Johnny, play the atrocity music.
We don't have atrocity music. No.
I thought we
never had atrocity music.
This is atrocity. We can't believe it's happening. This is so offensive.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Will somebody please make an atrocity song? We need atrocity.
Sam just gave you the lyrics. Sam just gave you wonderful lyrics. Use those.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Let's see what Freeman JB says. Parking is an important part of a hotel. Thank you, dude. Thank you. I can't believe Johnny thinks I'm being an aristocrat.
Well, you made it sound like
for a place to park on the premises.
I will say, to be fair, you complained first that they had no valet. You didn't say, "Oh, no parking." You came back with that fact at the end. But at first,
you didn't, Johnny. You did let me. I go. They had no valet, and you jumped in with the worst character ever done on a podcast.
I had to. I just had
aristocrat asshole.
I will say I hate valeting my car. If I can help it, I will self-park.
You would rather self-park at the hotel. You don't want to self-park 3 blocks away in Chinatown. I mean,
Is that how far you had to go? That's terrible.
Yeah, there's like alien lettering all over the place. Everything's peaky pow, you know?
It's crazy, isn't it? That's also a language, just that scribbling.
Yeah. I mean, they're obviously grays, right? They're obviously the grays.
There's some percentage of gray DNA inside of a Chinese
100%
sure.
Asians are grays.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, and here's the whole thing about the grays. I'm starting to realize, like, if we kind of study what's happening in our world right now, all these autistic billionaires are buying up all the land. All the land.
Yeah.
They're just buying it up, right? They're buying up all the land and they're making bunkers, which means they're gonna be the only ones who survive any kind of giant apocalyptic event like a meteor hitting us, right? Right.
Yeah, by the way, if you want to know why Elon's doing all that boring shit underground, this is why.
Exactly. Which means, Johnny, back on the other planet, let's say Mars that got destroyed, the only people who survived there were the autistic people too. And that's why aliens are just weirdos.
That's an excellent thought. It's an excellent thought, Sam.
I mean, that's why what we're dealing with here. Tiny,
that is a much higher
Japanese autistic aliens.
That's a much higher level thought than I'm used to hearing from you. I have to say, that's an excellent thought.
Are you mocking me right now?
No. I really do think that's a good thought. It's just, I'm surprised.
What happened to the show, dude? I'm up here spilling my guts about my feelings, and you're just mocking me with awful characters.
That's not a character. This is me, bitch. No, yeah, it's you're totally right. And some people I've heard it said like, oh, they'll let other people down there. You think these? I heard someone truly
only smoke shows.
Dude. It's only
smoke shows will be there. Only hot chicks will get, and we're talking like tens. Only tens will survive.
Yeah, under like 25. These guys don't. Yeah, it's not
it's gonna be children of the corn down there. You have chicks who are like 24, just counting the days until they get sent out to the fields.
That would be a great movie, by the way.
No, that would be a sad movie. I'm actually watching a great TV show right now, Silo. Have you seen that?
No. I started watching. It's kind of like Snowpiercer, right? But like in a silo.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, I heard it's good.
Surprised because I keep trying to give shows chances. They have this one that's trying to be like I don't know, like what was the movie that all the teenage girls loved about the vampires?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No. It was like
the movie. You mean?
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah. With Robert Pattinson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that called?
Somebody in the comments. What's the
name of that? Twilight. Yeah, Twilight. It's kind of like Twilight trying to be like Twilight meets like Game of Thrones, kind of, and it's just trying too hard. I mean, it's just no. This other show. So I watched 5 minutes of it. It got just cranking up the homoerotica right out the gate. Out the gate, they have just dudes staring at each other, thirsty.
What's that show? What's the show you're talking about now?
I don't know. It's on Netflix. I didn't even spend time. What is it called? It actually sounds like it's a cool name, and it's like just trying way too hard.
Is it a vampire show?
No, it's like about like the god of dreams, and they summon him. Yeah, Game of Thrones. It's
Sandman?
called.
Is it the Sandman?
Yeah, Sandman. Okay. It just tries too hard. It's really hard to be like, what would you call it? What's the genre of Game of Thrones? What's that called? Genre.
Fantasy.
And I guess you can do. It's like when you're shoving gay in there so much, it's just not. I'm not into it. So the next one I tried was Silo, and it actually ended up being really good.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, someone just said it. You know, Sandman is super effing gay. Yep, Dragon 100%, dude. Silo's great. I recommend. I've only seen one episode of it, but it's all about conspiracies. It's really good.
Cool.
It's really good. Anyways, Johnny. So I go. This place doesn't have valet. It doesn't have coffee anywhere in it. No coffee. Johnny, honestly, no coffee. You're okay with that?
No, that's bad. Not even in your room.
Basic shit right here.
I'm with you.
I'm paying gazillion dollars for this room. Can I get basic coffee, dog?
You said it was a nice hotel too, right?
Well, Dana, it says it got 5-star. I don't know who's voting on this stuff.
Well, it's interesting because 5 stars, if you're talking about the actual hotel like rating system, it's supposed to signify certain amenities, which doesn't sound like they have. Liars.
And then the hotel rooms are just like military base like rooms. Like they're just tiny rooms. And they do, you ever see when like hotels try to be overly hip and cool? They try to do stupid stuff that makes no sense.
Yeah,
So
totally.
what they would do, Johnny, they hung the chairs and tables on the wall. So you had to take them off and assemble them to sit in them.
That's so stupid.
Isn't that the dumbest thing you ever? Like
Why
you're
would you
trying
do
too
that?
hard. Like
Yeah.
we're so chic. You have to put together your own furniture.
Incredibly stupid.
Incredibly stupid. So, anyways, we go to the show. We actually packed it out. We packed Boston out. It's an old school comedy club. It's called Nick's Comedy Stop. It's a fucking.
Oh yeah,
cool
I've heard
gig.
the old guys talk about that a lot.
This is where Joe Rogan got his start. This is where Bill Burr got his start. We're gonna get into Bill Burr's rant. I don't know if you saw Bill Burr's rant on. I'm like, who's he talking about?
What is it about? I'll pull it.
On Vanity. I think it was in Vanity or Variety. And I want to get into that because I saw people breaking it down. I felt they were just totally off on it. But so, anyways, you do the show. It's packed out. Gotta be honest with you, the people of Boston are very cool. There's this kind of like outside view of Boston that they're kind of like just a city of racists. And I'm not saying they're not, but they're very nice people. Nick's Comedy Stop is like old school, dude, fun. It has like this, like you perform on a plank. Eddie Bravo came out. He's like, "Have you seen the stage?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Weird, right?" I go, "Yeah, that's why we're here. It's weird." we go, dude. We roadhouse this shit. So it was the people that were great. Matt was great. I believe it's Matt. I'm gonna his name. I don't want his name. He's gonna hear this.
That's not F up our stream either. If we can.
Why? By dropping bombs?
By dropping F bombs, yes.
Yeah, it's Matt. That was right. Matt and Annie. Very nice people, dude. Very nice people. Then one of the comics there, his dad is like head of the Teamsters in Boston.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah, that's what you want to be.
They want me to do with their podcast. They want me to go on the Teamsters podcast. And it's supposedly huge. It's supposedly huge.
Hey, it's the future, man. Everybody has their own podcast.
I need to get the Teamsters on my side, dude.
Absolutely.
The movement. So, anyways, I go up there. I do my show. Listen, there's something about Boston chicks. Boston chicks are cute, but when they're hot, they're undeniable.
Okay.
Like they stand out.
Okay.
The Puerto Rican bartender, she knew I dropped hammers. She knew I was great. She was making eyeballs with the old man. She understood it. So I do the show. I finish up with my bit about how people who still wear masks are either ugly or the R word, right? You're in 2025. You're either ugly or the R word. Anyways, I get off stage. The head of security comes up to me with a mask on. Okay. And this is after he basically jailhoused me to get a t-shirt. He came up, he goes, "Hey, I want a t-shirt." I go, "What?" He goes, "I want a t-shirt." I go, Okay, here's a t-shirt. This is why I can't go to prison, dude.
Oh, he just punked you.
Yeah, he just me right there. "I want a t-shirt." I go, "Okay, you're security. I'll give you a t-shirt." So I gave him a t-shirt. And then he goes to the old female bartender that been there forever, straight up Boston accent, right out of a TV show. He goes, "You want a t-shirt?" She goes, "Tinfoil hat?" I go, "Yeah. Yeah, I'll take one." Full Boston accent. Full Boston accent.
Dude, you're getting turned out here by that.
They're just turning me out. They're passing my point.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
Welcome back to the #1 podcast in the world. It's your boy XG, and we got a packed episode for you this week. We go over Hard Summer. We find out how many red flags I got for the T app. We go over Little Tate. She broke the internet. Her OnlyFans copped around about $1 million for all you creeps out there. And talking about creeps, We got little updates on the Jeffrey Epstein list. So you guys already know. Let's get right into it, baby. Let's go. Good morning and welcome back to XG Marks the News. This is XG, and this weekend we saw tens, thousands, millions descend upon Los Angeles for one of this year's mostly anticipated music festivals, Hard Summer 2025. From insane headliners to surprise sets and a couple wild moments, we got our very own reporter Chili Millie out on the grounds of SoFi, and here's her full recap. Chili, how'd it go?
My full recap, it was crazy. So much. There was fights. I got in a couple fights. I jumped the fence.
You got in a couple fights?
I got on stage with Dioro and Be Real. It was nuts. And I climbed the poles. Did you see the people climbing the poles? And
you were all over the news.
I was everywhere. The news was just of me.
You're the reason there's going to be no more Hard Summer, baby.
I know. It's going to be crazy. Then there was a shooting at the afters. Did you see that?
Are we going to send it to
I didn't go, but...
Send it to the other reporter?
Send it to... I forgot his name.
Ryan?
Ryan from the floor.
From the actual shooting. From the afters, we got Ryan, guys. We got a crazy shooting. Play it.
Street trying to flee the area. Investigators say around 11 p.m. they saw a possible armed individual go into a party. Officers did shut down that party, which had about 50 to 60 people in attendance. They say one person was detained for possession of a firearm. About 2 hours later, they came back to the same area for a shots fired radio call. Now, a large crowd was seen blocking the roadway, and at one point, police also formed a skirmish line. Multiple ambulances arrived at the scene, the wounded on stretchers. Gregory DeRiso's father spoke to us this morning, telling us how he heard about what happened.
All right, guys. Now, for real, now. Enough of the funny business. Nah, that's sad. That sucks. Hard Summer, I mean, is what it sounds. It sounds like it was horrible. What I've been watching, I wasn't there. A lot of fights. Obviously, 2 people died, 6 people got shot, 8 people got shot, 2 people died, 6 people obviously got shot. One of them's in critical condition. At the afters, which supposedly I hear were on the street, it wasn't EDM afters. It was a hip hop afters, which I don't really believe that. I don't really think there's hip hop afters.
It has to be because it's not like Hard's not an actual like festival. But there was a bunch of I didn't go to any afters. I went home. I fell asleep on the Uber home. I'm so tired. I didn't get any fights. I didn't jump any fences. But I don't know. I don't know what the afters was. I didn't even see that. I mean, obviously, it wasn't one of Romy's.
Was it? I mean, you obviously went. You and the homie went. Was it as crazy as people really claim? Because I mean, all I hear is like, oh, everyone's saying. People that didn't go are like, I'm so glad I didn't go. Obviously, yeah, you weren't there, so I'm sure you're.
I think it's all high. I only went Sunday. I didn't go Saturday. I heard Saturday people jumped the fence, and it was a little bit crazier. But Sunday, no one jumped fences. No, I didn't see anybody jump fences. Nobody got. I didn't see not one fight. I didn't see anything crazy. The most I saw was literally on Instagram.
So I was about to say, is this kind of like real life news where it's just. Well, it's like, you know how when you go on the news and you're like, oh, there's riots all over LA, and then you go outside LA and they're like, where are the riots?
It's all sunny and nice.
Yeah, it's all sunny and nice, and you're like, what the was it like that where you're like, that's not how I experienced Hard Summer?
Honestly, it was so much fun. It was probably
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hat.